Hello, everybody. It's a Friday night. We're babysitting with baby Sprapps. He's always lucky with his picks. So let's talk about the big weekend this weekend in sports Sprapps. That's what's going on. We have baseball, hockey, and football. Don't have college football yet. Maybe next week, but we're talking pro football. So let's talk baseball right now. We have the leagues, LCSs, right? The American and National League Championship Series. Dodgers versus LA Dodgers versus Milwaukee Brewers. Favors the Dodgers in both of these first two games today and tomorrow. Hyunjin Ryu and Clayton Kershaw over Gonzalez, Wade Miley. Based on the lineups we have, 5-3 and a 4-2 game. Dodgers been pretty steady. It's tough to go into Milwaukee, but we'll see. Big favorite tonight. Little, not as big of a favorite, but a stronger offense for some reason tomorrow comparatively. Boston also favored in their two games. So it's like in favorites, slight favorites all around. I do think Boston is a great team, and I have them to win the championship this year. Anyway, so that's baseball. Let's talk a little bit about hockey, because hockey is ready. I've done a lot of formula work. This thing's going to continue to get better as we get stats in here. But we have done some predicted scoring. This is a look at yesterday's matchups. You can see how we would have got a lot of them right, kind of backtracking and put a regressive analysis in here. You're just napping, huh? Can you pronounce any of these names? What's this name? Semyon Varlamov. Not bad. How about this one? Phoenix. That's a tough word. Phoenix is and he doesn't play for the Phoenix Coyotes, which are the Arizona Coyotes. He plays for the Washington Capitals. Anyway, we've got goaltenders. We've got lineup scores. This file is going to go live, and you can subscribe to this file on kenbraverman.com. I'll be doing a video specifically about hockey tomorrow because there's some early games. But it's nice to see that we have something looking reasonably like something. So this is more reasonable after doing some goalie work and some projected score work here. So speaking of projected scores, let's talk about football. So last night did not like what happened according to the file. Well, I mean, we had Philadelphia to win with win percentage, which is a lot of times what we care about. That's our most robust formula from years past is this win-Y percentage. So Philly did win there, so that's good. But I've been messing around with projected scores. Last night it was 28-17 was the projected score I had based on these rosters. I messed around with all the player stats here to try to get a more reasonable rating for offense and defense to get these scores right. It's still a work in process. We'll have injury reports for this weekend, but just a brief look at what we have here. And is there anything we like? Because we're going to do more updates on this file, but this is good for now. Minnesota, I mean, of course, Minnesota, Arizona, right? By the 10.5, maybe. It's only 11% because Minnesota hasn't been that strong this year, and Arizona pulled out a win last week, so that's a lower percentage than normal. Same thing here, Cleveland over the Chargers, minus 117. Does predict them. If there's consistency with projected score and win percentage, both being in the right direction, then you can consider it. But I don't like either of those games. It's a great game. Here, it thinks Miami's going to outscore the Bears for some reason, even though it heavily favors the Bears in win strength. Panthers, I might go to this game. You want to go to the Redskins game? Sunday? You want to go see this game? He's half asleep. It's been a long day. Likes Carolina, though. If I go there, home team always wins when I go to the game, so maybe I can push Washington over the top. Colts, Jets. Really likes the Jets here. Jets are a flaky team. You can see projected. This is why I have to work on the projected scores. I don't like what this is doing. We're not getting consistency here. Has to do with who's in the lineups and the strength of the defenses. It's very confusing. Likes the Bengals slightly. Likes the Bengals over points. I think that's a pretty good pick. You get a reasonable line with the Bengals are a good team. Steelers are an iffy team, although they are starting to light it up a little more offensively. This is insanity. If you take the a lot of points here in this game. It's thinking over in this game, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and even though you look at the difference in point prediction and win percentage, what do? I don't know. Seattle over the Raiders, that makes sense, even though it looks like it's going to be barely, so you might not want to take them over the spread. Buffalo and Houston, slight favor. Houston should win this game in Houston because it's not in Buffalo. That's a real big pick of the day. I can see why they're negative 450. I can't. Taking the minus 10, that is trouble. Rams and Broncos, this is in Denver. Heavily favors the Rams. Looks like a lot of points. Denver fell apart last week. Seems like a pretty good pick, even though you're going up to Mile High Air. But that's one of our strongest picks of the day. Jacksonville and the Cowboys. Really likes Jacksonville, except in point prediction. How does this happen, right? It says that Jacksonville's defense is just miserable. Do they have a lot of people out? Why does this happen? I really need to dig into the formulas and figure it out. I'm going to be working on adding special teams points into here as well. We're almost done. Ravens and Titans. Likes the Ravens twice here, win percentage and points, so that's a good pick. This is going to be a great game, Chiefs and Patriots. I won't be there this week, but I can imagine this is going to be an incredible game. It likes the Chiefs in both points, and even taking into account New England's home and away factor of +1.2. It still likes the Chiefs there. So at that +155, it's something that I'm probably going to take. And Niners over the Packers. So that's your weekend so far in sports. We'll do a special hockey video tomorrow morning, and of course a football update by Sunday morning. That'll have the final point projected scores, something that hopefully makes sense. So, got anything to say, Gail? Time to go. All right, may your picks be winning.